Welcome back. This is episode 2 of Small British Steps. You find me in the VAB, and we're going to start building a new launch complex, but it's not going to be finished anytime soon. The reason we're doing this is because because with the research we're doing, we can actually start looking at, we can look at some future rockets. So we're actually going to prepare for the Atlatl, which is going to be our next set of rockets after the Dart. They're going to be a bit chunkier. So you can see here they're up to a maximum tonnage of 15 tons. This craft that's actually in the background is an example one that I've just put up, that I've sort of thrown together. It's actually 11 tons because I wanted to see. We want to basically look at what the smallest is, and we're going to aim for the smallest craft being that minimum tonnage. The fuel that we've put in there, I'm predicting. I'm not going to actually, use the predictions that are coming up from this. I've actually overdone it, and that does add a little bit of cost per year, but it's basically like 15, 20 funds maximum. You can see it's going to take 102 days to build. It's going to cost us 10,000. I've put the height limit up to 18. This actually only has a height of, about 14, so it was suggesting a 15 or 16 meter height. But we're going to go for the 18 because I think we have something we can use for that. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to build that, and then we're going to show you what else we're going to do with it. So back on the main screen, you can see that currently we're actually losing money. That is because that launch complex, the Atlatl launch complex, is actually going to cost a lot of money. If we go to construction, you can see it's costing us about 102 per day. We don't have that, but also we don't need the complex just yet. So what I'm going to do is we're going to put it all the way down to just give us 5%. I'll take forever to do, but it'll slowly work off. 5 per day, we'll get that knocked off. We can up this, and remember, this up to 100% here is basically, it's just changing the time. It doesn't change the cost per sort of percentage in built. So we might as well start this now because we know what we're going to do. If we were having to rush it later on, it'd be really annoying if we hadn't started it early. So we're going to put it on 5%. It's going to give us 5. And it's just going to eat away at that slowly. And you can see it's just it takes us from 74 to 69 funds a day that we're getting. We're down at 14,000. We do need to put a bit of funds into there before we get to that. But we're going to get there, so that's not going to be a big issue. Right, so we're going to leave that there. That's done. We can get rid of that. We're getting funding in. And let's have a look. Combined, we have Dart 2, 3, and 4 to come. We've got this early rocketry here. We just remind you that we've got 90 researchers, which is quite a lot, actually. I think I might have overdone it, but we will see. We'll see what happens. So we're going to get the Dart 2, 3, and 4 ready. And tell you what, I'll bring you back when we're ready for the Dart 2 to launch. Right, we're back now. It is the 24th of April, 1951. If we actually have a look at staffing, let's just check the engineer situation. We can see our efficiency is now up to 17.9%. You can see we've got a pretty quick turnaround there, about a month for each of these, which is pretty good. If we were just trying to throw stuff up, that would be really nice for us. We're going to hurry up. We really want to get the early rocketry done, but let's get this Dart out of the way first. So here we are again on the launch pad. This is our second launch. It's Dart 2, second launch of the series, first one of this episode. We only got one launch in last time. Right, we're going to fire the engines and get it going. If we have an engine failure, I'll have to wheel it back in, but before we launch. But we'll see. So engines go, throttle up, and off we go. Right, so the aim of this one is to just get over the 40-kilometer mark and hopefully come back again safely, giving us data that's going to be returned from there, and that should give us a big bump of science. This is not our Kármán line mission. We probably could go for a Kármán line mission already, but we're actually holding off. So we're going to start that second stage, get rid of that. There we go. We are good. Right. So we have ignition on that. This is doing all right. It's going pretty straight, so it should hopefully make it. Let's have a look at the data. We're at 27, 28, 29, 30, 30, 40. We're at 40 now, so anything past that is bonus stuff. We're going to check what we're doing for science. We haven't transmitted anything yet because we haven't actually passed 40, but we're up to 80. It's going to be about 80 kilometers, I think. 81? Probably no, 79. Okay, so that's good. We're going to watch that come up. Now, of course, we could have gone for a Kármán line straight away, and some of you would be like, well, why have you not done that? Why have you not gone for that? Oh, we've got a vessel complete, get rid of that. It's an interesting one. I don't feel the need to jump to Kármán line straight away, primarily because I want to get some science. Science is actually what, at the start here, we're going to be basically held back by. Because we've got all those scientists, I need to feed the scientists. So that's what we're going to be aiming to do. So hopefully we're going to just push on through with this. This should be giving us, there we go, we're getting data now, 0.3. What are we looking like in the slot? We've got, okay, we're getting up there. That's good. I really like the fact that we're actually getting some data in here. 0.5 there and 0.4 there. That's interesting. Why have I got X? Oh, because we got extra data last time. Okay. Uncrewed altitude record achieved. You see there we get a bit more. So let's actually have a look on here. So now we're currently at 27,195. And as we get more rep, we got more altitude, we should get, I don't think we're not going to get high enough to get another landmark, but you can see that's gone up because I think we were about 25,000 something last time for minimum subsidy on 0 rep. So we're moving up there. We're getting up on the old subsidy. The subsidy is going to grow, which is a real positive. We're at 1.1 science now. What did we get? So we got 1 out of this whole thing. This should give us some science when it comes back as well. So let's see, we're about at our peak now. I think I'm ready to do the next bit, which is going to be that and arm the old parachutes. Now it is on a bit of an angle there, which is possibly going to be good for us because it means we shouldn't come down on top of our other bits, is what I'm hoping, when we start falling. So here we go. Let's see what's happened. The nose cone is all the way up there somewhere. We can't. There we are. It's off into the distance. We're gonna possibly not get hit by it. I hope not. Anyway, that would be embarrassing. We see the distance between these two is growing, and they're not really in alignment with each other. Yeah, not the best thing is firing it up straight up and then doing that. Let's have a look. That's targeted. Yeah, there we go. We target the debris. Just see what happens. Relative speed. Yeah, it's moving away from us. Okay, right. We can speed this on down now. There we go. We're separating from that. That's good. So speed this all the way down, and we should be able to get this. You see, that's going to slow down because it's got a lot of volume, very little mass. This is actually quite a heavy sort of lump. It's got, you know, our science avionics, a couple of decouplers. You'll notice I've put the decouplers facing sort of that way and that way, so that they end up as sort of crash structures, just in case we come down too hard. Little suggestion there. Okay, so they stay attached to here, and then we're gonna capture. There you go. There's the rest of the craft breaking up. They also act as a little bit of a almost like a heat shield, which is a bonus for us. Right, so that's all broken up, and we are coming down. We've actually slowed down a lot nicely there, haven't we? So we're gonna just bring it in, and hopefully be doing okay. I can't remember what point these parachutes are actually going to deploy on this. Can't remember if it might be 3,000. I think it's probably about 3,000. So we'll slow down when we get to about 3,000. We are coming down at a reasonable rate. It's not crazy. We have not seen. Here we are. So that is now going to come down toward. Right, we've got our parachutes open. Now we're going to see that. That's the nose cone coming down at us. And we've got to be careful it doesn't hit us. Okay, so we've got our parachutes there. I think we're going to be okay. We might even be down before it gets near us. Right. Little look. There's our tiny parachutes. We're coming down about 800 meters. Oh, we're opening up, and it's closing. I don't know. I would have thought that would have despawned by now, but it's obviously stayed within the correct range. It used to be about 2 kilometers range was despawning when you're in atmosphere, but has it been increased? Maybe it must be like 12.5 or something now. It's some sort of randomly generated number. It is getting closer. Yes, that's okay. We might land before it does. I don't know. 200 meters. It's 3 kilometers away. 130 meters. It's there. Okay, I think we'll slow it down. There we go. Right, is it going to plummet to the earth beside us? Because that'd be quite interesting, wouldn't it? Where is it? There it is. Let's see. Is it gonna? Who's gonna hit first? It's gonna be us. There we go. Oh well, that's fine. Nobody was injured in that, I don't think. And we are down. There we go. So we can recover that vessel. Normal recovery. So why did we do that instead of going calm online? Quite simply, for this, we got 2.5 science just for returning a craft that has done a flight that's gone up to 40 kilometers. It's not a suborbital flight. We just get this for that high altitude flight. If we had a rocket plane or something like that, we'd have probably sent that up and got that. We didn't, although actually I don't think we'd have had a cockpit to go that far. So yeah, so this is something that, it's just a nice way of getting some science. So we got about 2.5 from the actual flight. We got another 2.5 from just surviving it and landing it. So we've got 5 science. So we should probably spend it. We also get a little bit of funds back, but that's not really important. The parachute itself probably costs more than 14. So Yeah, we got that, and we got some other bits and bobs. So we did get a little bit of money back, but not terrible. So looking in here at what we want to buy next, so we've got this being research, which gives us the Spectre engines, which means the next step is we actually have to start, spending big time. Now, we could go straight to materials. I'm going to go for early tracking because I want the biological sample, and then we also want in the future, we want the advanced biological. We need those two to actually finish the set of contracts that we have in one of our programs. And that program we're going to want to finish reasonably quickly. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to put our other two in 3. I think we might even go straight to there. Yeah, I think we will. I think we'll go straight to there. So that now gives us all of this to do research on, which is really nice. So we should see, there we are. We can now see in our little plan, we've got early rocketry, we've got early tracking systems, early science. There we go, sorted. We do not really need the atlatl until around about here. So currently that's going to be, it's going to be in 6 months actually. We're not doing bad. The research rate is not bad at all, is it? So next step, get the Dart 3 done and sort that out, and we're just gonna rinse and repeat. We have just rolled out the next atlatl. We'll move forward to Dawn, but you can see that I've actually increased our build rate to 35%. We've got 41 balanced funds in there, so you can see we've got a little bit of an increase there. We can do that without worrying. We're gonna just get rid of that, and you can see that's moved us up so that, yeah, it's still going to take until next year potentially, but we are working on it. It's not going to be a massive issue. In fact, I am tempted to really hurry it along and then pause it towards the end. Might be a better idea, but we'll see about that actually. So we're going to launch the Dart. It is the early morning. This is our first shot at getting getting this Kármán line contract. So we have to get over 100 kilometers. That's all we need to do. So this is the new engines that we've not used before. So hopefully they're going to be all right. We should really check the data on those. Here we are on the pad with our new engines. We have some data because they get some data from the previous set of engines. So you can see here they've got 1,888.848 data units. They've got a big chunk of that from the previous set of engines. And remember, we had a failure on one of those engines mid-flight, which gave us a big chunk of data. So let's just get this up there. We're aiming for the Kármán line. We've got to get rid of that vessel mission. Right. Aiming for the Kármán line. We know what our target is. Let's fire the engine. Let's go. And we're off. Right. We are going up. So the aim is 100. We're just trying to get to 100. That's all I need to do. We just need to break the Kármán line. Then we can have a look at our next set of missions. And it's, I don't really like the morning launches with the yellow light on it. It's a bit deceptive, I think, I suppose. Right, we're getting ready for our next stage, so we're going to go now, and there we are. Good change, good transition, good hot stage. That thing's exploded because it's just gone into a wall and turned. Now this thing is going up. Now this we need to get up to 100. Well, actually it needs to go over 100 because it's got a lot of air resistance. It's got to push through. So let's see how it goes. We're up at 50, 60, 70. Oh, it's not going to make it. 80, 90, and 109, 108, 107, 106, 105, 104, 103. Oh, it's going to be 102. It's going down. We might just do it. We might just be on the brink. I'm actually leaning forward because I'm watching it. We might be 101 and 700. So we're about 1.7 kilometers over our target currently, and it's going down. I don't know how long it's going to take to get there because, of course, yeah, we don't have this stuff. So we've got a new record there. That's added 2 to here. What's that done to our little thing? So we're now on 27.72. That's good. You can see our confidence is going up as our science goes up as well because we're getting science. 27,720 is good. We finished the telemetry flying high, which is nice. That's the first one that we'll complete. And then we've got, let's have a look. We've got a little bit more science coming in. It'll slow down because we don't get telemetry now. And are we going to get one for going over? We've got over the 80. Let's keep going up. Let's see. Do we get one for getting up to 100? We don't get anything for over 90. We're going to get an extra unit of science here, which is nice. So that's another 1 unit to spend. I think the next thing we need is 2 or 3 units. So we may not make that. We're over the 100 mark. Okay. Mission is completed. So we've got that one. It gives us 2. We've got that one. We've got 10 applicants. And we've got a completion reward of 10. That's good. Right, let's have a look. So we've completed that. And we're up to 21, which gives us up to 28,620. So almost 1,000 a year more now, just for getting that little bit of reputation there, that like 10 reputation. Science is up at 1.4. Are we actually able to keep doing science? We are running. Science is running, but it is slow. That's one of the problems with this. So we're going to run this down, get this into the low atmosphere. Hopefully we get up to about 2. I think 2 gets us our next thing. It might be 3. I can't remember, because we're going to try and get material science. Material science is actually really important because that's the science that will actually improve our build speed, our efficiency limits. So by getting up to, not the first one, but I think the second one, gives you a bump of about, I think it's like 20 or 30% to your maximum, which is huge. Right, we're coming to 40, and there we are, we're through it. Let's check that we're not transmitting. We're going to do that. We're going to check, have we got any transmission going on here? There's no data there, so we can just range safety this before it starts exploding. You saw the fins starting to heat up, and then back to base. And there we have it. We've got a thing. Can we just get rid of that? Yeah, just recover that. Thank you. We've got, there we have it. We have the Space Gazette tells us that rocket reaches space. So we've got the Dart 3 rocket was shot out of the atmosphere and into space. This marks the beginning of a new era where the stars will start to seem closer and closer. Yay, we are out of the atmosphere. Well, we're in space. We're past the Kármán line. I'm not entirely sure if it's space, but we'll move on with that. So we got up to 2 science there. We got a little bit of increase to our reputation, which is going to help us. Does that 2 science actually let us do what I want to do? It does. So we could do that, or we could save up and spend it on something entirely different. I think, yeah, I want to do these 2. Then we'll be able to get possibly working on some other stuff. I think I definitely want to get that materials node at some point. So we'll get this one, then we'll get that materials node, and then I think we'll go down this tree. These will be getting a bit of bonuses by then, because I want to get to here. That's where we'll put our first plane together, and then here we can actually build our second plane, I believe, because we'll have some upgrades and things. Yeah, we actually get an upgrade for that. Yeah, oh, that's it. No, we can start building it here, can't we? Yeah. But then we'll move on and we'll get the upgrade. So we'll probably actually have both of those before we finish our first proper plane. Right, get that done. And we've got some staff now. We've got 10 staff to basically put where we want to. I'm not going to do that yet, though. I'm going to hold it. What's it done to our finances? I don't think it's impacted our finances. We haven't. We've got applicants, so we can just sit on those and we can use them when we need to. We don't want to put them on the integration team because we don't have any space for them. And the research team, I don't want to put them in because, yes, it would take it to 100, which is a lovely round number, but I can't finance them at that point. They become a bit too big, and we need to keep the cash coming in right now. So in our missions, we now have a load of new missions to become available. We've got altitude sounding rockets, which we're going to leave. They're going to got 90 days on them. We've got altitude sounding rockets, again, 90 days on them. We're going to target those with our current pad once we've actually got a bit of science gathered. We need to get a bit more science gathered, I think. And then we have the film return, which we have the tech for. It needs to go 200 kilometers downrange. And then we've got the biological experiment needs to go over 100 kilometers. So both of these, when we get that research done, that will be getting done. And that one as well. But before we can do either of those, I need to look at this research. So that research point there is the one that's going to be really nice for us to get the Spectre engines. It's also when I want to start building bigger rockets. So I need to move the atlatl up to about middle of 07 of the 7th month. So if we're going to go and look at construction, we're going to bring this up as well. I don't want to lose funds. What happens if we do this? Where do I need to go to take it to 07? It's going to be 100. Yeah, it's going to be 100. That's going to cost us funds. Oh, that's horrible. Do I just zero out our fund usage? I think I do. I think we're going to sit us on almost zero gain and try and just move that forward. because I want that launch complex to be ready. We could have actually been building it all along nice and slowly, or I could just pull money out to build it. I mean, we could put it on 100% and just lose the funds, but I have to tool engines and stuff and things as well, which we'll get to. We'll talk about that. Right. Okay, let's have a look. I think next thing we're going to do is launch the Dart 4. So if we look at the combined list, we can see the Dart 4 is actually going to be finished reasonably, by the 6 month. It's about a month's time. Then we'll finish off early rocketry. That will open up the plans we've got for Dart 5, 6, and 9. Now 5, I'm not sure I'm going to use 5. 5's a bit of basically a backup if 4 doesn't make it to out of the atmosphere. But then I could also equally use something like Dart 9 or 9, because that should be able to get out of the atmosphere. This secondary Dart 4 will probably never fly. We're going to keep it building, because you'll see there, we have to build it anyway. Well, we have to pay the staff anyway. We could lay them off, but I want to get the efficiency up in that thing, in that station, and then we'll drop down what we're actually doing with it, because we only need one of those per 90 days after that, and you'll see why in a moment why we're going to do that. We'll drop the staff down, but I want to get the efficiency up as much as possible so we can build this and then we can scrap it if we need to. So let's get the Dart 4 ready and launch that and see if we can get out into the actual space for once. Right, it's the 25th of June. The next big milestone for us is getting that early rocketry node, which will give us the better engines. But we're going to launch Dart 4, and hopefully we're going to finally taste that sweet science outside of the upper atmosphere. Here we are. I'm actually zoomed out because if I go in, the flow goes funny. Actually, we can leave it like that. There we go, that's fine. So, this is going to be the Dart 4. We're going to get rid of this stuff here. Our only aim here is to get to over 140 kilometers. That will basically give us a reward for getting into space, as it were. We're going to try and grab a bit of science while we're there, and that's all we're doing. So everything's ready, get everything on, fire the engines, and go. We are go, 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 go. We have a good launch. The only problem with these two engines on the first stage, if one of them goes, the whole thing is like their cartwheel if it happens too early on. I think if it went now, we might be alright, because I think the center of thrust would be okay, but I'm not entirely sure. Right, we're going to get this down to, there we go, start that engine, and we're away. That engine is good, we are going. You see there's a little bit of a wobble there. There is a little bit of a wobble. It's, yeah, it's being balanced by the airflow. It's got a little bit of a push from the air, not wanting to go through it, but also it's sort of stabilizing because of its length. Right, let's have a look. We're up at 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 143. Oh, it's going to be close. I don't think we're going to make it. No, it's not going to do it. Oh, no. Oh, it's a Dart failure. Dart has failed. Oh, dear. We are going to get some science from up here, though, so, it's not a massive loss, but, yep, I think we're going to be just shy. Yeah. Oh, well. I thought we might be alright with it, but obviously not. Right, I'm going to just run this forward. You don't need to watch this. We can see that we're going to get some science from this. In fact, I'll put this up here. Let's have a look. We've got 0.4 science from this. We're going to basically use up the science collection for upper atmosphere. That's not a problem. It should be done pretty quickly. We're so close to the to doing that. Oh, that was tantalizingly close. What we could do, we could try one of these with a return capsule and see if we can get it to over the 100, because I think there's something a little glitchy with the 100 marker in this version. It used to be to get a suborbital flight, you had to go over 140, but I think suborbital now is over 100 because they've moved it to where the Kármán line is. So I wonder whether we could bodge one of those. Maybe if we have another failure or something, if we've got time, we might have a go at it. Right, we're coming back down. I think all the science is done. It's transmitted. I don't need to wait any longer. Let's range safety it. So we will probably still keep the Dart 4, I think. I think we'll probably keep the Dart 4. The Atlatl launch complex, I might actually slow down. We don't need it that soon, because actually I want to get some engine data by using one of the Spectre engines on a Dart here before I put it onto something a bit bigger. So we might not need to rush that, but we'll see. So Let's get the next dart up. In fact, let's get the early rocketry done, and then we can start building other craft, I think. Right, so we have got early rocketry done. If we come in here, and we can see we've now got this here. If I click on this, you can see purchase cost 100, and you can see here cost after credits 748, because we've actually built up a whole chunk of unlock credits, you see, including parents, 9,000 unlock credits. So I can actually basically buy this for free, which is really nice for us. So we can actually buy this engine, and those credits there are actually earned there. I think it works out basically as the money you've spent on your scientists basically builds up, and then it's basically a lot there. There's a lot of basically in there. Yeah, so you basically, I've done it again. I just so much basically. So the funds that you spend on your scientists go towards building up this stockpile, which you can then use, or you can distribute to spending on things you're actually building. So if you want to get everything off this node, yes, it's going to cost you lots of funds, but we're just going to get the Spectre engine to start with. There we are. We may buy another engine. I think I may buy something else. I think you can see all those have been bought. We're not buying the RD or the NAA, so let's go build another craft or two. Alright, so the first one I'm going to put in the build queue, but it won't stay as the first one in the build queue, is going to be the Dart 6. So this is a craft that's got a longer tank. It's got a newer engine. Actually, how much is that going to cost me to buy? Do I really want to buy it? It's like money, isn't it? We could just stick this on the top of another vehicle. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. Right. So let's look at the let's look at the alternative. The alternative is, if we pull this in, this is the Dart 9. Okay. So this is the Dart 9. It's a bigger diameter craft, this section here. It's actually got a diameter of 310, where we've been working with diameters of 300. It's a little chunkier. It has this first stage that we've tested before with the Sprite engines. It's just to kick it off and get it going. You can see that gives it a thruster weight of 2.26, primarily because if I make this top stage any longer, its thruster weight drops dramatically, and I don't get what I want out of it. So that's just there to push it up. I'm sure there's other more efficient ways of doing it. At the top here, we have sounding rocket payload. There you go. Isn't that lovely? Interestingly, why does that look not quite right? So what's that? What's this? Oh, interesting. That should be 310. Oh, cheeky. So that needs to be 310 at the bottom. Okay. I'm lucky I haven't tooled this yet. And then what I want to do is, I've just realized, so if we go to Open Recolor GI, we're going to store color. And I'm going to come here, open this, we're going to load color. That looks better, doesn't it? Consistency of color. Right. So that's all 29.8. And this is, oh, that's correct. Okay. So it's as if, how odd. So that adds up to 100. Yes, perfect. We haven't gained any units by doing that. We've just had a glitch. I wonder whether I've hit a button or something. Well, let's save that. Yeah, so that's that craft there. We're gonna be launching quite a few of these. I believe they have about 256 kilometers vertical on a good day. They do less than that, but we're gonna be launching a few of these. So we're gonna tool this first of all. So we tool all. That's gonna cost us 1,000. That's for structure at top, structure there, structure down there. Okay, purchase all tooling. That's 1,000. Oof, that's horrible to see happen, isn't it? And then we're gonna build it. We have to pay for the Sprite 3 engines at the bottom there. 1, 2, 3. Let's put 4 of them in the build queue. Now let's see what we can do if I go open here and we go open the Dart 6 up. We merge it. Right. Let's have a look. I wonder whether we can get one of these up into atmosphere and return it. We don't need a big craft, but can we just... Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to take the bottom off. I want to take the top off. And then I need to get this onto there. Actually, I don't want the bottom off. I don't want the top off. I want to keep the top because I'm going to put an adapter in. Right. Yeah, merge that. We've already got the top of this tooled. We've already got this whole thing tooled now. So what we'll do is we'll steal that. We'll put that there. And then what we'll do is we'll take this whole structure and I will take that off there. We'll take that and put it on the bottom of there. There we go. And then we'll take this off here. And oh no, that's big, isn't it? You know what? We'll plonk that on. Can I plonk that there? Can I take that off? If I do that, does that then become attachable? It is. Right, okay. So I can now do that. And what I want to do is I want to take that off there. I want to reroute to that. I want to take that off. I want to put that to there. And you're all thinking, what are you doing, sea monsters? Right, what we're doing is I'm going to move the thing on this. We're going to turn it into a cone. Build cylinder, no, cylinder. I don't want a cylinder, polygon, cone. That's what I want. So I want a cone. I want it to have a top of, that's upside down. I want it to have a top of 310 and a bottom of 3. And then how thick is that? That is 100 thick. So we're going to take that down to 100. There we go. I think that might work. I hope that might work. Right. So that's what we're going to go with. Why does it feel as though there's a white line there? Right. So that's what we're going to go with. And that's going to be the Dart 9 return. That's what we're going to go for. So that should hopefully be able to get us into orbit. So let's have a look. Get rid of that. We're still under 2 tons, I hope. Yes, we are. So what we're going to do is, let's see, that goes. Then we need to have that Spectre engine fire. Then I need to have this one here that goes. So that's going to go to there. Wonderful. And then up here, we then have this, and then we get rid of that. And that's good. So that is the plan. And that's the 9 return. Okay, that's a bit different, isn't it? What's that looking like for everything? Does it have the fuel it needs? Hopefully it will. It's probably going to go higher and faster than anything we've ever launched, but we can do that. So we're going to save that. Do I need to tool anything? I do not, because the decouplers didn't need tooled. That's brilliant. Right. And then we'll build one of those as well. In fact, you know what? I think I'll build 2 of them. Yeah, let's build 2 of them. Right. Let's go and have a look at our build queue situation. So build queue at the moment, we've got a Dart 4. I think we will scrap it. Even though it's only 2 days, I don't need it. So we're gonna scrap it. We are actually gonna scrap that. There we go. We're gonna move the return up to here. In fact, we're not. We're gonna actually, let's change this so you can see why I'm doing what I'm doing. Right, put this onto here. You can see it takes about 40 days to build these, 42 for the return craft, but actually it's about 40 days. If I go over into mission control, we've got a sounding rocket. Let's have a look. The difficult one says 75 units to 140 kilometers. It's on 144 days. We've got the less difficult one saying 75 units to 80 kilometers. So we're going to go with the difficult one. We're going to choose that one. That's going to give us a big jump. Is it 70? But I'm really looking at the these 2 values here, the pink and the thing. I think it's reputation and confident. Reputation here. 22 is good, but 14 I could knock out. You can see we're over 100% now. Yeah, I think this is going to be our biggest payout. So I think we go big. So we'll go big for this, and we'll take that. Yes. So that's going to be 144 days, but that's going to start counting now. And then we're going to have another dart after it. That'll be 80 days after, which will be almost about the right time. Then we'll put the return in. Then we'll put another dart in. And then after that, we'll actually probably do that. And then I'm going to duplicate again and again. And we're going to build a line of them. And we're going to try and complete as many of those missions as we can. I know the missions have been retailored, so I'm not sure how good they're going to be, whether we can keep using this long term, but we'll give it a go. Right. So let's get the dart done, and then we're going to get out of the atmosphere, and then I think that'll be the last thing of this episode, and then we'll move on. Right. On side notes, combined, where's the actual thing that we need to do? There's the Atlatl complex. It's got 72 days. Let's slow that down a bit. We don't need it so quickly. And what are we looking like for stuff? Yeah, there we go. We actually don't have the funding to do it any better. Right, put it about there. That's going to put it on. Yeah, after the second dart, is it? Yeah. Okay, 80 days, not a problem. Right, let's go. Let's launch a dart. Right, it is August time, and we're going to try and launch our first Spectre engine craft. So this is a bit of a bigger beast than we've seen before. Let's just get rid of the vessel notification. Again, we've not actually got a mission for this. We're just, well, sorry, we do. We do have a mission. What am I talking about? I was thinking about the return mission. We have a mission for this. But as a side thing, we want to grab science. So we want to get out of the 140 kilometer sort of range. So we're going to do our usual thing, get everything set up and go. And we're off. Right, we've got that initial thruster I'm a big fan of. We're going to straighten this up a bit. Have a look. We're going to get ready for staging of that second set of engines. And this is the biggie. This is the one where we could have a failure. And it will be very annoying if we do. We're not in a massive hurry to do anything, so we're going to start the engine now and then fire it, and we're good, that's good. This is a big-ish rocket. I say it's a big-ish rocket. It's under 2 tons still, but it's the biggest thing we've built so far. We've got the nice payload there. We're going to keep a track on how high it goes. We don't need to go too high. That's just something we need to be aware of. I don't actually want to go too high. Well, actually, I want to see how far it goes, if I'm honest. But if I'm doing the return mission, I don't want to go too high, because actually coming back to Earth could be a problem with it. So just firing one of the return missions off would be a problem in this situation. Right, let's have a look. We're up at 70 kilometers apoapsis, 80 kilometers apoapsis. We've got 17 seconds to go. We're up at 100. We're up at 120. We've got 12 seconds to go on this engine. We're up at 140, 150, 160. So we've completed the mission now if we continue on and it doesn't have too many crazy issues. 200, 240, 250, 261. 261 is what we've got to. Okay, so remember that, 261. That's what we got to. We had no engine issue, I don't think. We've completed a speed limit thing. Let's just check the engine on this. Everything was good. We got 252 data units from that flight. It didn't burn for a long time. We only burn it for about 50 seconds to do with because we want to try and keep the thruster weight up. But yeah, we did well there. So let's have a look. How high do we need to go? We've got all of the units. We've got to go up to 140. We're going to get this over here because we're going to need that tagged. Let's get it up there. Nice and easy. All the way up, it's going to do it, and we've got a big chunk of stuff now. Let's have a look. Contract complete. We've got 140. We've got that one there. Let's have a look at this while it's flying up there. So now we're up at 31,000 subsidy a year. So we've jumped by about, 3,000 there from our last one. So 3,000 jump by launching that mission, and that's going to stay. That's going to help push us along long term. We do lose about 8 a year, but that's basically paid off 3 years of subsidy loss. Right. Contract complete. We've got another 2 points there for going to 180. We're going to get all of these things now. It's going to be glorious. So now we put 31. So yeah, even another 200 funds a year just for 1 rep point. Are we going to get one at 200? I would imagine we might. And we don't get one at 200. That's interesting. Right. Let's keep it going on up. 250 maybe. We got one at 2 something. So what's that? Contract complete, 250. There we go. So what's that done to us? We're now up at 51.9, which is 32,190. We'll have a look at science that's been generated. 5.6 science. We've got 6 science just from this flight, and we've still got time to go. This is beautiful. And we're going to come, there we go, into the atmosphere. I hope I stopped it in time. Don't want this thing to just explode. Oh, we're coming in fast. Oh, this is an interesting little time warp glitch I've noticed. And we've got 7. Have we got any data that needs sent? We do not. It's an interesting, if you catch the time warp at the wrong time, it fast forwards through like that. It's horrible. I've noticed that a change to that. A lot of extra charge on there I didn't need, but we're going to range safety this now. Get rid of it. Done. Right, and so from me, until next time, have a great one. So if that was good for you, check out on the screen right now some links. You can see other videos you might like. Check out the channel, see if there's any playlists you like. There's also some links to other content creators there you might like. Or leave a comment down below. Like, subscribe, do all those things.